Yeah.
We I'm so happy and I'm excited about this. So once it is 8 o'clock, it just activates that we are live. But let us still be gisting with each other. How are you? I'll be in Ife next week. I'll be in Ife next week.
Why next
Definitely,
week?
definitely. I'm thinking of coming earlier because of finest worship. I'm thinking of coming earlier because of finest worship. So I think you said you are traveling, right?
Yeah, I'll be in Ibadan. That's finest worship, right? But I'll be back in Ife on Saturday.
Okay. All right, right. We'll definitely.
Yeah, I'll be in Ibadan. That's finest worship, right? But I'll be back in Ife on Saturday.
Yay! So we are live already. Wow! Oh my God! Let me take your face away first. Let me take your face away first. All right, hi guys. What's up? How are you doing? How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for being here. What's up? How are you doing? Thank you so much for being here. My name is Toluwa Kemi, and I am the convener, the founder, the the orange, but I'm privileged to be the one to channel, to start this awesome and amazing movement. Yes, it is a movement, and I'm so excited about it. Thank you so much for being here. Komolafe Oluwayomi, thank you so much. I can see you. So what I want you to do for me is I want you to type where you are joining us from, what part of Nigeria, what part of the world. Are you joining from Ghana? Yes, let me start prophesying it in advance now. Are you joining us from Ghana, from Namibia, from Kenya, from Tunisia, from India? Yes, so what part of, so let us bring it up. So are you joining us from Abia State? Yes, I had to call Abia State because I rep Abia State. I sat there. So engineers from Abia State, from Kogi State, from Jigawa State, from Bauchi, from Lagos. So let us know where you are joining us from. So all you just need to do is drop a hi and tell us where you are joining us from. Thank you so much for being here. I do not take it for granted. I will be giving my own opening session at the end. But our first guest is here. Okay, Olorunishola Itunoluwa said from Ogun State. Wow, that's good. I'm also currently in Ogun State, Abeokuta to be exact. Right, thank you so much for that. Komolafe Oluwayomi said Ibadan. And yes, Komolafe Oluwayomi, you are our first participant. You are the first person to get to the hall. Yes, and I celebrate you for that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being the first participant today. Thank you for coming early. I know we started like 5 minutes early, and that is good. That is to show you that this place will mean business here. Our guest is already in the house, is already in the studio, and is ready to go live at exactly 8 o'clock. So let's keep it coming, right? So thank you so much. All right, so as I was saying, I said I'm privileged to start this vision, this movement. And like I just said a few minutes ago, I said one of the things I want to do with the Nysc Boardroom is I want to actually create solutions that people want, even if it is just one person, even if it is just two persons. I want to, as much as possible, create solutions that people want. I don't mind if it is one person. I'm that crazy enough to say, let's do this. Do you get? So, and I love the fact that we even have people who are really interested in this, right? So thank you so much for joining. And the Nysc Boardroom is much more than just a community. It is an organization. Victor said he's joining from Lagos. Welcome, Victor. Welcome, Victor. So as I was saying, the Nysc Boardroom is much more than just a community. It is an organization. It is a solution that we are packaging, that we want to use to solve the NYC system in all. So we're a solution. We're not just a community. We're a solution-based organization, and we are glad and happy to be doing this. And we look forward to to our results at the end of 5 years. Yes, this is a 5 years project, right? All right. So as I was saying, and that is very, very good, and we love to do it. We want to do it. We want to go all out for it, right? So we have 2 minutes. 2 minutes to go for our speaker to come live and to join us live, right? So as I was saying, right, so that's what we want to do. I realized that if someone should say me, why did I create this? What is the why behind this? It's simple. Lots and lots of NYC coppers, and the funny thing about this is, you won't believe these statistics when I did this research, that more than 30,000 coppers get mobilized every year. More than 30 coppers get mobilized every year. That's like more than 30 graduates. And it cuts across. It's not just university. It is university, polytechnic, college of education. So more than 30,000. And the funny thing is, these statistics I'm even telling you, it is a 2019 statistics. So imagine between 2019 and 2022. Imagine, even with the lockdown that they said they had to cut the people they mobilized in half, right? Even in lockdown, they do cut. And that's to tell you, so who is preparing these 30,000 youths? What kind of mindset do these 30,000 youths have? How can these 30,000 youths better themselves? So this is what the NYC Boardroom is here for. So we want to serve as a bridge, as a training organization for people. I recently went to Lagos, and one of the things that the people I met in Lagos said is that they said, we want to hire graduates, but we can't hire a graduate that is not knowledgeable, that is not vast, that does not even understand nitty-gritty of things. And that was what they were telling me. And they were even asking me, out of the coppers that can you recommend any copper that is good, that can do a job of an operations manager, that can do a job of a management executive, management consultant? Even I myself, I was shocked. And that was what they were telling me. I sat down with executives and they were telling me things. They were telling me that there are no graduates who are ready to work, only graduates who are ready to earn. I'm telling you, they said there are graduates who are ready to earn, but no graduates that is ready to work. And I'm like, okay, what is the difference behind it? They were telling me that the mindset, the culture, the exposure, the experience, the awareness, and it breaks my heart a lot. And that is why I said, yes, I'm going to be crazy enough to go ahead and say and put the NYC Boardroom on the map. If it is one person, two persons, 1,000, 10,000, we will do it. So the NYC Boardroom is a movement. In case you are not aware, the NYC Boardroom is a movement. Thank you so much, Moyi Awoyemi, for joining us from Osun State, Nigeria. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we have people from Ogun State, people from Ibadan, people from Lagos, and people from Osun State. Thank you so much for joining. We're excited. So the time is 8:01. Woo! Wow. I'm so excited. I'm so happy to see this happen. So our guest is ready. So real quick, I'm going to talk a little bit about our guest, and I'm going to share the reason why it had to be in. Right? Our guest was somebody I met. Our guest is a friend of mine, and it's somebody I met in the year 2019. And since 2019, we've been friends. And one of the things that I noticed, one of the things that Ajiboye is joining us from Lagos. Thank you so much for joining us, Ajiboye. And one of the things I've come to learn so far about our speaker for today is his resilience. I love his resilience. I love his focus. I love his execution mindset. You know, I met him as at then, both of us were still undergraduate. And from being undergraduate, you know, with our intentionality, Miriam, yes, Miriam is my girl. She's joining from Lagos. Woo! Miriam, welcome. All right, so I was saying something. I said, our speaker is somebody that is diligent. Our speaker, whoa, somebody from Bayelsa is joining us. Wow. Thank you so much. Welcome, 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 welcome. Ayamide Taiwo is joining from Osun State. Ojo Emmanuel is joining from Bayelsa State. Wow, wow, wow. This is beautiful. I love this. All right, so let me go real quick. So our speaker is a diligent person, is a focused person. Our speaker executes. And all these ones, they're not even nice. The one thing I love so much about him is our speaker has failed before. I know that is funny. I know it's very, very funny to say that, but I love the fact that he has failed before. Like, he has failure blueprints and he has a lot of success blueprints. You can see his failure track record and you can see his success track record. And why am I talking about failure? Is because, you know, there's this thing about our age grade, 21 to 28, that we are so afraid of failing. We are so afraid of failing. Like, there's just this, what if I fail? You know, I asked us to ask questions on the group and people were telling me we're still asking about failure. So I'm bringing this guide to you people to understand that, to validate your fears about failure, to let you understand that yes, you can fail, but it is not the end of it. Because this guy has lost a huge amount of money and yet he is still kicking nicely. In fact, he's a fine man. You're going to see him today. You know, this community, this movement is something. I want you to be comfortable. I want you to be ready to learn. I want you to be ready to learn. And this guy is deep. See, just make sure you are ready to learn. I'm going to be asking him some very, very big questions. And I want you to pay attention, take notes. If there's anything he says that stands out for you, drop a comment. Please, I want you to encourage me with your comments. Like, make sure, don't see, hey, this guy is $1 million, so I brought him with $1 million. All right, so I'll be bringing my dear friend now to come and speak with us. I'll be asking him questions, and from his questions, he will be answering also. And if there are questions in your heart that you would love for me to ask him, drop it in the comment section. When I see it, I will do justice to it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, so right now I can see people from, let me bring him in. All right, so guys, I want you to, with a standing and a clapping ovation, please put it in the comment section for me. I want you to clap. Clement, we have people from Abia State, people from Osun State, people from Delta State. We have somebody here from Bayelsa State. We have somebody from Osun State, from Lagos State, from Ogun State, from Ibadan. Wow, I must be sincere with you. When I first saw that Bayelsa State, I was like, what? And I'm just so excited and I'm glad about it. Thank you so much for saying yes to do this. All right. So, comments, is there anything you would love to say opening in any at all as an opening speech? Let's start with that.
Okay, can you hear me?
Please, can we hear him?
Can you hear me too?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right. Thank you for this privilege. Thank you for this opportunity. I do not take it for granted. I really appreciate it. And thank you for all the amazing things.
I hope I did not cast you too much. Don't worry. Be free. This place is home. Free. Hope I did not cast you too much.
Don't worry. We'll see.
Okay. All right. So let me go with my first question. The first question I have here. The first question I have is, our title for today is how to build a sustainable and scalable business. And the beautiful thing about this community is we have three kinds of people. We have people who are final year students. We have people who are awaiting NYC call-up letter, and we have people who are currently serving. Some are even in camp right now. So my first question is, what does a sustainable and scalable business, what does it look like? What does that look like?
Okay, a business that is sustainable, a business that is scalable. Let's pick sustainability before scalability. Okay, let's pick scalability before sustainability. Now, so scalability is the ability for you to take a business from the ground level to the 100 level, to a 1,000 level, to a million level, a billion level, a trillion level, right? So your ability to scale your business is your ability to expand your business. And I think it is very important for any business you want to start that you must consider the scalability of that business, because any business that cannot grow beyond a certain capacity is not scalable. Business should be able to grow beyond a certain level. So you should be able to have a business that can grow beyond a certain level. All right. So you can start from the ground level and grow it to the 100 level. But when you get to the 100 level, you must be able to scale that business more than that level. All right. So that's scalability. And sustainability is how that business can thrive and survive, even when you are not involved, even when you're not around, even when you are no longer around. For instance, Steve Jobs have been dead for years now, but Apple is still growing and is still thriving. In fact, this evening, Apple is currently worth more than Meta, Alphabet, and I've forgotten the third company now. Apple alone is worth more than 3 big brands all over the world. That's a sustainable brand. That's a sustainable business. The founder has been dead for a while. The founder has left the same, but that is still thriving. The same thing with Twitter. Right? The founder of Twitter, Jack, has left for quite a while now, and Twitter is still thriving. In fact, it has attracted one of the most brilliant minds in the world to purchase, and that's Elon Musk. All right, so that's sustainable business. So I think for every startup, one of the most important things you should consider is how scalable is your business and how sustainable is your business. And trust me, if you want to get any investor invest in your business, they would ask you the scalability of your business and the sustainability of your business. Nobody wants to invest in a business that after making $1 million now, there's nothing to do again. Or nobody wants to invest in a business that after a year, 2 years, you cannot grow anymore. Right? So you should be able to check for the sustainability and the scalability. And how do you check for the scalability and the sustainability? Scalability depends on the market and the product. All right, market first for the product, because if there is no market, then who do you want to sell your products to? Most of the time, people focus on the product. Even myself, when I started, I focused on products. I grew to realize that focusing on the product is not the same as focusing on the business. When you really care about the business, your primary focus is not actually the product. Your primary focus is the market. You may not agree with what I'm saying, but I'm telling you this because it is the truth. Why do you think Elon Musk is buying Twitter? Because of the market, not because of the product. All right. Elon Musk bought Twitter because of the market, because of the business, and he's now trying to turn Twitter to the product he desires. All right. So for you to understand this, you must know that how much people are ready to buy what you are selling will determine how successful your business will be. Right. So if people are hungry for your product, then you sure have a scalable business. If people are ready to buy your product, if people are ready and are willing to pay for your product, you have it. Right. But if people are not ready and willing to buy your product, you should consider looking for people and what they want and what they need, and give it to them what they want and need. All right. So one of the most brilliant business guys said something. He said, "Don't focus on the product, focus on the markets. Look for an hungry market, and then create a product for that market. Because when you have an hungry market, you will definitely sell out whatever you want to sell to them." Okay. And then how to know if a business is sustainable is when people are buying your product. Look at Apple, for instance. Apple started out creating they started out by computer, and then they launched iPhone, and then right now they have launched airports and different gadgets. All right, so the sustainability depends on how you are able to expand your business and to run it. Excuse me, and keep it running even when you're no longer here. I think that is how to build a scalable and sustainable business, right?
Thank you so much for that. I love the fact that examples you used because of a truth. What you just said is very, very true. You know, there must be something Twitter has that made Elon Musk to come. And the thing about him is that he's now turning Twitter as the market that he wants it into a product. Like I love the analogy you gave. I love the analogy you gave so much. So you have to focus on the market. And there was something you said that really stood. You said if there's no market, there's no one you will sell to. And that's why a lot of people, a lot of business classes we go for, they always ask us, who is your target market? And this same truth that you talked about is what we are doing also in the Nysc Boardroom, right? You know, we had to break it down. In the link I sent out, I wrote it there. Are you a final year student? Are you a awaiting copper, or are you currently serving? So that is the market we are looking for, and so that we can attract them, and we can now give the Nysc Boardroom, which is the product that we are building, to them. So it's very, 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 very profound. And you also said something about sustainability. See, like you explained, you know, the Steve Jobs that you explained, like he's not even there, and Apple is still like turning the whole like somebody that is using Android and someone that is using Apple, and the person that is using Apple is still like feeling like the Jagaban, like the king, the king, and that is very, very good. I love how you did justice to that, and I hope that somebody out there listen to this and the person like learn and is able to see what we are actually talking about. So before you say I want to start a business, I have this, I have this, here that's very, very important question. Ask who is the market? What market do I want to plug? And then you ask yourself, how scalable is this business? Now, I have a second question that I want to ask you, which is very, very important. You spoke a lot about scalability, you not being there, you being there, which is very, very good and which is very, very valid. Now, to my second question, I want to ask you this very, very important question. I want to start a business. I'm a copper, and you're telling me that the business should be scalable. If I want to speak with investors, this. Now, if I want to build, let's say I want to start a clothing business, I want to be sending clothes. I'm serving in Abia State, and I want to be sending clothes home. What should sustainability look like for me? Like I don't. It's not like I have big companies. It's not like I have big office. But with the little I'm starting, what are the things? What kind of mindset should I have? Like, just run me through how should I start building sustainability? What should sustainability look like for me? I don't know. I hope you got my question. I hope I didn't mumble it too much. But I just like to ask, what does sustainability? What should it look like to me?
Okay. Sustainability for you want to start a business as a couple, and you're wondering what sustainability should look like for you. The first question I would ask you is that the business you want to start as a couple, are you planning to keep it running when you're done serving? Now, when I was an undergraduate, right, I started a couple of businesses, and I had of keeping them running for long. I just needed those businesses to make ends meet while I was on campus. For instance, I sold Zobo while I was on campus. I sold prawn crackers while I was on campus. I sold eggs. I sold food while I was on campus. Of course, I don't have a plan or intention to keep selling those things as a graduate when I finished from school. I was just selling them just to make some ends meet while I was still in school, right? So, are you selling those things just to make ends meet as a copper, or you want to build a business around it? Do you want to build something around it? Now, if you just want to build, if you just want to do it for your NYC period, you don't need to stress yourself. Just start. And while I was serving, I served in Delta State. While I was serving, there was this friend that started selling materials, clothing materials and shirts, and she sold it for the period while we were serving. I don't know as of today if she still sells because we've not spoken in a while. But the way she was building the business then, she was not really building it to be sustainable. This is what I mean. If you want to build a sustainable business as a couple, one of the first things you consider is the environment, the people around you. There is no business that is built that is sustainable that first of all cannot um, must have a foundation of or what's the word now? And I want to use the word independent foundation, but I don't know if you understand what I mean. This is what I mean. Let me use this friend as an instance that started a clothing business while we were serving in Delta State. Now she was going to Delta State, Asaba precisely. Asaba is just a 30 minutes to a 30-minute drive, a 30-minute to 40-minute drive to Onitsha, right? So I was frequenting Onitsha while I was serving because I was the fellowship transport secretary. So I was driving almost every day to Onitsha market. So except there's traffic, if there's no traffic within 30 minutes from Asaba to Onitsha market, right? And if there's traffic, you can spend up to 3 hours in the traffic, right? So this lady would always go to Onitsha very early in the morning, buy a lot of materials, and then buy different materials and clothing materials and bring it to the fellowship to come and sell to people in the fellowship. All right. So she was doing that, and then now the problem with what she was doing was this: because she was selling to familiar people, most people were buying on credit, and so they would pay whenever they pay Alawi. So she would have to wait for when Alawi has paid before she can also go to the market and buy some new stuff, except she wants to use her own personal money for that. Now she built that business on a foundation that it's made not sustainable. The reason is because if 80% of your customers are buying on credit, you are going to grow very slow. You have to be waiting for the end of the month for all of them to pay you, and at the end of the day, when they pay you, you have to take the money to the market and buy new set of materials and bring it back to the house and sell to people, and then wait for the end of the month again before you get your money. That is not sustainable at all. All right. So what you need to do if you want to build a sustainable business, number one, you will not allow anybody to buy anything from your credit. It's not going to be allowed. All right. If you want to build a sustainable business, credit is not going to be allowed. And then the other thing you need to consider is: do you have a ready-made market for your product? Do you have people who are ready to buy? Do you have people who are ready to make purchase immediately? I'm not talking about people who are promising to pay you next week, or people who are promising to buy next week. I'm talking about people who are ready to buy right now as we are speaking, right? You have that. Now, if you have that, now look for a way to build a system. This is very important. Build a system around it. If you really want to build a sustainable business, a system is important. A system is what allows your business to run without your involvement. A system allows your business to run with minimal involvement. I'm not saying you're not going to be involved at all. I'm saying you're going to be involved minimally. Of course, when you're just starting, you'll be involved a lot. But one of the things I did for my brand when I was building Terabyte in 2019 was that Terabyte is going to be a long-term business for me. And I managed Terabyte for the first 6 months, thereabout. The first 6 months, I managed Terabyte myself. And after the first 6 months, I stopped managing Terabyte myself. I started employing people. I employed managers. I hired managers. I was an undergraduate. In fact, that was my final year. That was when I met Olakemi. That was my final year when I started Terabyte. And so before I left, I already hired managers to be running Terabyte for me while they give me reports on a weekly basis and a monthly basis. And during the lockdown, we expanded so much that the expansion blew my own mind off. Like I was literally blown by the expansion. We expanded to 21 universities in Nigeria. And so obviously I cannot manage 21 branches of the company. So I hired managers for all the 21 campuses. So I was having meetings with managers every week, every month. I was not having meeting with all the people in the company. I was only having meeting with the executive and the managers. And so they would give me reports, keep me updated on what they are doing, and then we do assessment at the end of every month. Then we give out the best manager of the month, the branch that got the highest revenue. And to my amazement, our revenue was millions of naira every month during the lockdown. The lockdown was one of the best spread of my own business, my own life, because I was really making a lot of money during the lockdown. That's the truth, right? So that from the beginning of when I was starting Terabyte, I knew Terabyte was going to be an e-brand. So I did not try to put everything in my head. I did not try to carry Terabyte on my head all by myself. When I did it for the first 6 months, which is not negotiable, if you are a founder of anything, you must be the first person to work. You must be the first salesman. You must be the first graphics designer. You must be the first content manager. You must be the first secretary. You must be the first. You must be the first everything to work on everything. You will work as a manager. You work as a secretary. You work as a salesman. You work as a content manager, as a graphic designer. You have to be the first to do everything by yourself. All right. So another thing I did was when I started doing those things, Terabyte logo I designed it up to date. Since that logo, I was started of doing the design, so I just drew 2 circles, and that circle became a phenomenal logo for Terabyte. I hired 2 brand managers to change the logo, and both of them said we cannot change the logo because the logo represents the vision of Terabyte. And when I was making the logo, I was not thinking of the vision of Terabyte. I was just tired of thinking of design, and I just drew 2 circles, and it made a lot of sense. All right. So, and then when I was starting, I got a team for myself. I got a graphics person. But I did the first work all by myself, and I started recruiting people. Right, that is when you know a business is sustainable. The moment other people can buy into your vision of that business, it has a sustainability factor. Right, if people cannot buy into the vision of business, the business is most likely not going to be sustainable. What sustains business is actually not sales. Listen carefully. People think sales. Yes, sales is important because if there are no sales, there is no business. But the truth is that if people can buy into the vision of what you are doing, it's only a matter of time before sales come into the picture. So people is one of the most important ingredients for a sustainable business. So if you want to start a business as a copper and you want it to be sustainable, you can the first 3 months you can begin it by yourself. But trust me, you need to start getting a team for yourself. You need to start building a team for yourself. That is how multiplication happens. Multiplication does not happen with one person. That's the truth. 1 multiplied by 1 will give you 1. Anywhere in the world, 1 multiplied by 1 will give you 1. Excuse me. 1 multiplied by 1 will give 1. Anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. 1 multiplied by 1 will give you 1. But the moment you have 2 people, 1 multiplied by 2 give you 2. You have 7 people. 1 multiplied by 7 will give you 7 results. All right. So multiplication will not happen with just you. And sustainability is another word for multiplication in business. All right. So if you want a business to be sustainable, you must build it around people like-minded, around people that believe in your vision, around people that are committed to that are result-oriented and are committed to giving you the best result for your business. And then when you have people that believe in your vision of your brand, you cannot start talking about sales. You cannot start talking about how to drive sales, how to create products that can drive. Terabyte as a company has evolved. We have tried several things. We are doing several things. We are still trying to find exactly where we want to settle. We know where we want to settle, but we don't have the investment to build what we desire to do. So we are trying to raise capital from other sources of businesses. All right. So it means that one thing you must do with this is you must be flexible. You must be flexible. Don't be too attached to a product. Don't be too attached to a product. Listen carefully. You don't have millions of dollars to invest in product creation. Listen carefully what I'm saying. You don't have millions of dollars to invest in product creation. Elon Musk has millions of dollars to test everything he wants to test on Twitter. Apple has millions of dollars to test a new iPhone before they launch it to the market. Coca-Cola has millions of dollars to test a new product before they bring it to the market. You don't have millions of dollars to test a product. So whatever product you're bringing, you must be sure to sell. You must be sure to sell. And one of the ways to sell is not to be testing products, is not to be gambling with products, is to simply go out there, ask people what they want, get people to tell you what they need, what they want, and create what they want and sell it to them. All right. Sell it to them. All right. So I think I've said enough about that. If you have more questions, then I can say something more on that. All right. Thank you very much.
Wow. Where should I take it from? Because what you said is one of the things that I realized recently. I currently do not have a team for the Nysc Boardroom, and one of the things that we want to do at the end of this conference, at the end of this virtual conference, is to build a team with the people in the community. Do you get? Like, we want to build a team with the people in the community. And I realized that I cannot just put flyer out there and say, if you want to join, if you will love to be part of the team. I said no. Because if the people who are in the community are able to, we're able to set up a team with them, they will be able to know, like, they will be able to know, they will be able to interact and say, okay, we want to build this. Do you get? And I call it building the community with the people involved. And I see it clearly. If you can build a team, and the one you said recently, that don't be so attached with your products. Oh my God, it is so true. It is so true. When I first started the Nysc Boardroom, do you know that the first 2 months it flopped? Because I was so attached. I wanted to make it all about me. I wanted to make it all about me. But then when I started sitting down, I started asking questions. I did surveyed. I did a lot of, I put questionnaires out there. I was asking people. That was when I discovered that, oh, this is not even about me. This is much more than me. And I'm so glad and excited that I started all over again. And see, what you said is so true. You need people. Don't be so attached to your vision. Don't be so attached to it. And like a lot of people, okay, Victor asked a question now. If people can buy the vision of your business, okay, he's saying is that if people can buy the vision of your business, then your business can be sustainable. And that is very, like, it was like you broke a table in that place when you said that sales is good, but people is much more. People is much more. So you have to make sure you have a ready-made, like this thing. I hope you guys took note of the things he talked about. The first thing he talked about was the environment. Pay attention to the environment you are. Pay attention to the environment that you are. The second thing he made mention of is you have to make sure that you have ready-made market for your products. Pay attention to the environment. Then the ready-made, don't go and be cooking up. People should like this. No, put out the research out there. Get to know what people actually like and position yourself. And then the last one he talked about was building a system. And when he talked about building a system, he talked about the importance of people. And if you can get a people, sales, see, it's like having enough people. Sales will always come in. It will always come in. You need people. You need people. Build that team. And as I'm also going to put it out there that at the end of this conference, we will be going on a 6 weeks rigorous training, leadership training. So we'll be building a team. So if it is something you would love to be part of, please make sure you reach out to me. And Oluwole said he's writing. Yes, because you dropped a lot of good stuff on us. Now, I want to my next question. And in this next question, I have people in the group asking me this question. They are saying, Ma, I'm earning 33K per month. I'm earning 33K per month. Some are even saying I'm a student. I don't even talk to that 33K as allowance. And here you are talking about business, saying sustainability, saying I should look at it. Is this something I can do in 2 years, in 3 years, in 4 years without me? How do I get money to start? And people are asking me, they are putting it in the group and they're asking questions. They're saying, is it with the small 33K? We all know what the economy is saying. How do I start a business? Where do I get investors? What do I do? I have some are even saying I have business idea. Some are telling me they have a lot of business ideas. But then some are now saying there's no money. I'm collecting just 33K. What can 33K do? So what do you have to say about that? Please talk to us about that.
All right. You see, these kind of questions are interesting questions. And you know why? I practically have built a lot of businesses, almost zero capital. And one of the issues that I have whenever I get questions like this, it's still what I said before, and that is you getting so attached to your product. Now, you want to start a business, right? And it's how to start your business, right? And so you need an investor, right? Okay, let me use an experience to talk about that. I was serving in Asaba last year, Delta States last year. I served last year, January to December. Okay, so around the month of May, yes, around the month of May, while I was serving, I got bored, and what happened was that I got to serve. I was carried as an expo in the fellowship, and so I had to put most of my businesses on hold. In fact, I practically placed all my businesses on hold. And so when it was around May, I started getting bored, and I was getting bored because I was not making money. Like January to May last year was one of the most hectic moments of my life because I have a lot of businesses running for me, but I was not making money because I was putting them on hold. And I wanted to restart, and I needed to do something. I think I shared this before. To like I might be aware, but not sure. Let me just say it here. Now, so when I realized that I was getting bored and I needed to do something, and I, I don't know what to do, and I decided to build a community. Now, listen carefully. Building community is one of the cheapest business you can start, and it's one of the most profitable business you can do. I will explain what I'm talking about now. Now, so I decided to build a community, and this is why the first thing I would ask you is: do you have a skill? Do you have a skill? Do you have a skill? This is not do you. I'm not talking about do you have an idea. No, I don't. People have ideas. Nigerians have ideas. I'm not asking do you have an idea. I'm asking do you have a skill? Having a skill is not the same as having an idea. You can have an idea without having a skill. All right. So do you have a skill? Do you have a skill? If you have a skill, follow what I'm saying. If all you have is an idea, you need to find a skill before you can implement what I'm talking about. So I have a skill, right? So I started to build a community around my skill. So I know that there are people out there who have similar skills, but they don't know how to navigate their way. They don't know how to navigate their path in that particular skill. So I decided to launch a VIP community. I called it a VIP community. And so I was charging them. I started by charging them 11,000 naira to join the community. Right. So with 11,000 naira, I joined my community for a lifetime access. Right. So and then the first month I got close to 40 people joined my community. Was it 40 people or 20 something? I think 20 something people joined my community. That was how much. May. That was true. I wrote, let me check. My notepad is here in front of me. I always keep the notepad with me and I always put down the amount I make every month for the sake of accountability. All right. So I'm not sure if this is a particular notepad, but I'm checking so that you would see that truly this is something I'm talking about. I don't know if you can see it clearly. It's not so clear. It's not so clear, right? So in the first month, that was the month of May, I made over 200K, like that. How much did I used to start? Zero. I started with zero. I made 200K by just opening the VIP community. I was supposed to pay 11K to join the community, and I made 200K in the first month. Now, guess what I did in the second month? In the second month, I increased the price to 16,500, and I was thinking that people would not be interested because the price has gone up. But out of 20 something joined in the first month, right? The second month, 40 something people joined. So pushed my income from 200K to over 600K. Yeah, over 600K, close to 700K in the second month. And I was saving. If you don't believe what I'm talking about, you can ask people that we serve together, that we lived in the same family house. They will tell you that I was practically doing for Christmas for everybody in the house. I was the one that would come. I drive the bus, so I come back to the house as late as possible, especially if the president is out on an assignment. So when we come back late. I will buy suya, I will buy barbecue, I will buy chicken, buy bread. I was making money. My 33K then was like the money we used to do. We would do sharing money with my 3K then as at that time. So I did this from May up till October. And let me shock you. Around August, I made 950,000 naira as a copper without spending a dime on advertisements, without spending a dime on creating the products, without spending a dime on anything, just with the community. 950,000 naira. Right now, I met this lady recently, and then okay, let me just say this. Before I went to serve, December 2019, no, December 2020, I launched another community. I call it the $1 community. So people join my community for just $1, and after 2 months, I closed down the community actually. And then let's play with figures here. If you have a community that people pay 1,000 naira to join every month, are you with me? People pay 1,000 naira to join your community every month, and you have just 100 people in your community. That's how much every month. That's 100,000 naira every month. Simple as that. So we live in an era where it is not about how hard you work. It's about how smart you think. I didn't say how smart you work. I said how smart you think. You will think smart and work hard. Listen, I'm not saying work smart or work hard. You work hard, but you will think smart. Thinking smart is the job of a CEO. Thinking smart is the job of a founder. So if you really want to be a founder, if you really think you're a CEO, that you call yourself a CEO, you must be able to think smart. So your ability to think smart will reflect on the way you work. If you think smart enough, you work hard enough. Trust me. I have a community now that people pay about 2K to join every month, and the goal is to have 500 people in that community every month, paying 2K every month. 500 people paying you 2K every month is how much? That's one name. Just to love, just teaching every month. So if you tell me you don't have capital to start your business, I would ask you, do you have a skill? Probably you are too attached to your products. You want to start selling jewelries. Why do you want to start selling jewelries? Why should people leave the person that they are buying jewelries from to come and buy jewelries from? Like, have you thought about that? Why? Why do you want to start selling jewelries? Why do you want to start selling shoes? Why do you want to start selling undies? Why do you want to start doing makeup? Why do you want to start selling those things? Why? Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm asking why, because if your reason for wanting to do those things is not convincing enough for me, I will tell you to go and look for a skill and build a community around your skill and get paid for your skill. All right. So I don't know if I've answered the question. People tend to give up their business because they claim they don't have capital. Because they claim they don't have capital. But the truth is, you don't actually need capital. If you ask Oluwakemi that, how much did you spend to start Nysc Boardroom, she will tell you she didn't really spend much. I think the only time she spent on Nysc Boardroom was when she wanted to do the meeting they had in Abeokuta. It was it last month or 2 months ago. Apart from that, she does not need any money to start Nysc Boardroom. All you might need is a skill. Do you have something that people don't have? Do you have an experience that people don't have? Do you have a track record on it? Listen carefully. You might just decide to open a book club. You might just decide to open a book club on WhatsApp and tell people that to join my book club, you're going to pay 500 naira every month or 1,000 every month. And plus, serious people are like you that loves to read will join your book club, and they would also pay 500 or 1,000 naira to join your book. Imagine you have 50 people in your book club paying you 1K every month. That's 50K. So what does you want to sell? Think the way that you are not trying to make a one-time sale. You are trying to create a monthly sales. A monthly sales. Community will give you monthly sales. I don't know why I'm emphasizing on community recently, but I think Oluwakemi knows I've been talking about community for a while. Community is huge. It will pay you so much. It will pay you so much. So instead of looking for a product to sell, looking for an investor to invest money in your business, why don't you create a community? Why don't you teach on something? You were able to grow your WhatsApp views from 50 people to 500 views, and then you can teach people on how to grow their WhatsApp views. You can have a WhatsApp community, WhatsApp growth community, where people pay 500 naira, 1,000 naira to learn every month from you. I don't have to stress yourself. What I do in my community is I send out audio teachings excuse me, I send out audio teaching every Sunday. Excuse me, every Sunday. So by Sunday evening, they get an audio teaching from me about 26 minutes, 30 minutes, 25 minutes teaching on a particular aspect of business every Sunday, and every Wednesday I do accountability checkup. And it's think smart. Come on, think smart and work hard. Think smart and work hard. You don't have to sell what other people are selling. You just have to stand out. You just have to do something in such a way that people will look at you and be like, wow, this is brilliant, and they want to be a part of it. All right. So thank you very much.
Amazing. I'm not going to lie. This is amazing. This is amazing. You said think smart and work hard. Think smart and work hard. I love the fact that you emphasized on smart thinking, and it is very, very important. Smart thinking is very, very important. And like you said, to start the Nysc Boardroom in July, the day we started, July 9th, 2022, I did not. If I talk to you guys have started, you guys are going to the one thing that you're going to say is that I'm crazy, because I didn't start it with any amount of money. All I did was to start it on my WhatsApp status. All I did was to talk about it on my WhatsApp status. And by the way, I have more than 1,000 people viewing my WhatsApp status in 24 hours. Now, how did I do that? Before you start saying, it's because of that, it's because of that. No, I have a skill. And that skill is I am good when it comes to writing. I am very, very good when it comes to writing. So I write convincingly. I write inspiring. Like I write content, and I'm good at it. Clement here talking to you guys about community. Community is a skill. Growing a community is a skill. Do you get? So before you even think about not having money, this, the first thing you ask yourself is, what skill do I have? And I really, 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 and you see, Victor, yes, I love what Victor just said. Victor said, and when you said it, when you mentioned it, when you said taking smart is the responsibility of a CEO, and I found that it's very, very important. Do you get? So before you say there's no money, I have little money, ask yourself, what skill do I have? And that is very, very important. And I love that so much. So I have 2 more questions for you that I want you to help us, 2 more questions that I want you to talk about to help us break down. And these questions are very, very beautiful. And I love how you've been talking about all these things. I love it so, so much. Now, you already said we should have a skill. What skill do we have? I already talked about it. But Clement, I have a skill. I have discovered it. I am good at it. But these people you are talking about, how do I get these people? Where do I find these people? What should I do to make people be interested in what I do? So these people, how that people, can you give us at least 2 practical tools that we can use to attract people? And can you talk to us about these people per se? Like, talk to us, help us to break it down. I have this skill, I am good at it, I know how to say it very, very well, but people are not listening to me. How do I get people to listen to me? How do I get people to keep finding me interesting? How speak to us about these people thing. Help us.
All right. You said 2 practical ways, right? And I'll stick to 2. I think I'm taking too much time, so I'll try to fast. Now, the first one I would say is becoming a noisemaker. This might sound funny, this might sound strange, but that's the truth. You have to become a noisemaker. You have to become a noisemaker. You just have to become a noisemaker. And you will not just become a noisemaker, you'll become the best noisemaker. You remember those times in secondary school when the class captain will say that he's writing names of noisemakers? There are actually plenty of noisemakers. You only write the name of the loudest noisemakers. That's how you get recognized. Also in business, you be the loudest noisemaker. You are good at what you do, but nobody knows you. Definitely nobody will come to you. You are good at what you do, but nobody knows you. Nobody has heard about you. Nobody has seen you. So definitely they will not come to you. They will not come to you. So you have to become a noisemaker, and you have to be the loudest noisemaker possible. Right? So you just have to be the loudest noisemaker. So how to become the loudest noisemaker? Number 2 is this: create a strong offer. We call it lead magnets in marketing terms. All right, we call it lead magnets. Let's just call it a bait. If you want to catch a fish, you are going to put some earthworms on the hook line, and on the hook you put some earthworm on the hook, and then throw the line inside the ocean. And then the fish does not know there is a hook there. The fish want to eat the earthworm and get hooked up by the hook, and then you catch it. You reel in your fish, and that's how you catch it. Fish. So the same thing, if you want to catch people, you have to create a bait for them. You have to put an earthworm on the hook, cast it out into the ocean, and then let it attract people that would feed on your bait, and you reel them into your space, and they become a loyal host. Right. So the differences is in how loud you make your noise and how strong your offer is, how strong your bait is. So if your noise is not loud enough, people will still not recognize you. You have to be loudest noise. If you enter the market, for instance, and local markets, you will start hearing the way people are shouting that you come and buy from them, buy from them, buy from them. Most of the time, we end up going to the person that is loudest or that is most persistent. All right, so you have to be that person. You have to be the loudest noisemaker, and you have to create a very strong offer. Right, so your offer can be in the form of a free class, a free ebook, a free tutorial, a free anything free. All right, most of the time, free stuffs are always the best offers. They are always the best baits to get people interested into your space. So when they get your free offer, they fall for your bait, and then you reel them into your space, and then they become a loyal fan of yours. Right. So I think answers that. I'm trying to keep it as brief as possible. Right.
That's very
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
guys. I apologize for that, guys. I apologize. So, like I'm saying that even if you said you wanted to say just 2 things, short things, but you said a lot. You said a whole lot, and it was the first thing that you said that you have a way of always saying things that used to like shock me. You know, when you said become the loudest noise maker. Not just any kind of noise maker, but the loudest noise maker. You know how some people, I don't know if this has happened to you before, you're just checking on Instagram and an advert pops up. You go to YouTube, the same advert will pop up. You go to Telegram, the same advert will pop up. You go to the, and you're like, is this person following me all about? See, that is what being allowed, like, become. And another thing you said, you talked about create a bait. See, me, I love to do things practical. I love practicalizing everything. In case you are not aware, let me give it to you now. This conference is a bait, and that is the truth. We have a beautiful product. The Nysc Boardroom is an organization, and we know what Nysc Boardroom can do. We know what we can achieve with it. But we need people, right? So what did we do? We organized a free training. And that is why a lot of you are here. That is why you are watching the replay. That is why you are watching it, right? And so far, I want you to talk to me in the comment section. Has this been helpful? Have you learned anything so far since morning? And that is the thing. He told you, he said something, create a free offer. This training is a free offer. Now, from our free offer, what did you see? We were putting it out there on people's status, and a lot of you joined, right, through somebody's status. That's another mind-blowing thing. I did not just put it on my own status. What did I do? He said what? He said become the loudest noise maker. So what did I do? I started shaking. I started giving it out to everybody. Loudest noise maker. So you see, when you're being the loudest noise maker, you don't have the opportunity to be shy. You don't have the opportunity. You don't have the I am a quiet person. Like, can you see what he's saying? And I had to tell you this so that you understand that I don't. This is what we also did. Okay, Ojo Emmanuel said he discovered the Nysc Boardroom through somebody reading it on their WhatsApp. Can you see? Become the loudest noise maker. Don't say. And the beauty, another thing is, some of you saw it on TVs, WhatsApp TVs. We had to pay somebody. So don't just say, oh, I'm noise maker, I want to become the loudest noise maker, and you are just putting your hands together that it will jump on you. No, you will have to go out there. Loudest noise makers don't do it from their seats. They go to some of them will even go to the front. I remember I was one of those loudest noise makers in school. We will even go to the front and will be disturbing everybody. Do you get? So, like, I love how you answered that question. You can even ask Clement. I used to disturb Clement a lot. Loudest noise maker is not by mouth, it's by action. Do you get? So becoming a loudest noise maker is not by mouth, it is by action. Do you get? Now I have this last and final question I want to ask you, Clement. And the question is looking like it is robust. But I want you before you say your final words and not those things, I want you to say this, right? Now, I want to, I said something when we started. I said one of the things I love about you is that I love the fact that you failed in things. And there was you were talking about it on your stores, and you were almost in your emotions. Guys, I'm see the way I'm blasting him. Don't worry. He has a way of blasting me too. So let me do it. But this is what I want to ask you. I want to ask you this. I'm in a business. I'm doing a business, but it's looking like it is failing. It's looking like this thing is going to fail. What can you we want you to talk to us about that? You've talked to us about sustainability, building something, even if we are not there, it is still working, building a structure. Now I want to ask you, Clement, I'm doing this business, it's not working, and it's looking like it's going to fail. Should I still stay at it? Or should I switch? How do I know when to do something else? What should I do? Is it that when the business fail, am I the one that failed? What exactly is going on? That's A part. Then the B part, I want you to talk about that. Is business gender related? Is business gender related? Is it that it is only guys that can do business? Or is it that it is not? So, because I know some ladies will say, I can't do some business because I'm a lady now. How can you be telling me to do a free offer? I'm a lady, I don't know. So I want you to talk about those two questions. I know that I mixed two different questions into one, but please help us. The first one is, how do I handle failure? When do I even know this thing has failed? What do I do? What do I do? So I want you to talk about it, and then I want you to just chip in this part where I want to talk to us that is starting a business, running a sustainable business, is it gender based? Do I have to be a lady? Do I have to be a guy? Or is it that everybody can do it? Thank you so much.
Okay, I think you already know the answer to the second question. The second question is, business is not gender based. A male or a female can do business. The success of a business does not depend on your gender at all. Trust me, it does not depend on your gender. All right. So it depends on your grit, your resilience, your persistence, your consistency, and how well you can execute ideas. Okay. So, and then the first question was, how do you handle failure? I think the best way to handle failure is to allow yourself to fail. Many people are too afraid to fail. I failed a lot in my life. I failed even in academics. I failed in relationship. I failed in ministry. I failed in business. I failed in almost every area of my life. That's the truth. I failed in relationship. A 2 years, 6 month relationship ended. I failed in relationship. I failed in academics. I spent 3 years in engineering, and then I was almost my GPA was approaching less than 1 point in engineering. After 3 years in engineering, I left engineering and I started all over again in economics. And then I finished from economics. So I failed in academics. And I failed in ministry. I started ministry in 2013. And then I shut it down less than 3 months when I started. And then for a good 3 years, I was doing nothing until I restarted again in 2016. And I'm still here today. I failed in ministry. I failed in business. Okay. I did several businesses. I lost, while I was entering my final year, I lost close to 3 million naira thereabout. 3 million naira thereabout. As an undergraduate, I was entering my final year, and I was entering my final year with a 3 million naira debt on my neck. I failed in business. I failed in a lot of things. I started a community for the first time. I closed it after 2 months. I committed again the second time. I closed it down in less than a month again. And I started the community again the third time. All right, here we are. We are still doing fine. So taking an advice from me, the best way to handle failure is to allow yourself to fail. I've gotten to a stage of my life right now where if I fail, I fail. I don't care anymore. Like, I've failed so much that it has become interesting to fail. It's if I get an idea right now, I don't think about will this fail or not. I just tell myself that this idea that I just get, I will try it. If I fail, I fail. If I make it, I make it. If I fail, I fail. Like Esther said, if I perish, I perish. Right? So you have to allow yourself to fail. That's the best way to handle failure. If you are too scared to fail, you will end up failing. But if you are ready to fail, you realize that you will eventually not fail. Now, because your business failed does not mean you are a failure. It simply means that you have learned something that does not work, and you are not expected to repeat that same thing. You are supposed to learn from it and do it again better. So don't say because you try to sell mama and then you could not sell mama, and so you're not going to sell anything again. Like, no, Nigeria has that syndrome where the moment you fail at one thing, you give up absolutely on everything. That is insane. It is absolutely insane. For instance, in 2014, I tried to sell a product and I sold the same product for 3 years and I did not make more than one sale. Now people think I exaggerate when I say this, but I don't exaggerate when I say this. It was true. And I have someone that can tell you how true it is. For good 3 years, from 2014 to 2017, I was selling a single product and I only made just one sale. And the irony was that I was the one training other sales and marketing guys. And those guys were making sales and they were doing fine. The person training them, only made one sale. It was like the entire world was against me. I know I have the principles, I have the strategies. I teach it to people. They work with the principle, they work with the strategy, they make sales, they make profits. I tried the same principle, I tried the same strategy, and I was not making any sales for good 3 years, just one sale. I left that business, and then I tried on that business. I sold again. I think this one lasted for about 6 months, and nothing also. So I failed as a salesman twice. And the funny thing? Last year, I tried to sell a similar product, and guess what? In less than 3 months, I made over $1 million from selling that product. So it took me. I tried 2014 to 2017 failed. 2017 to 2020 failed selling. All right, and then it took me how many years, and I eventually succeeded at it. All right, so you have to understand something, that the best way to handle failure is to allow yourself to fail. The scripture told us, permit me to say this for those who are not Christians, the scripture told us that he that is afraid to give up his life will eventually lose his life. All right, it means that if you cling onto your life, you will lose it. If you are too afraid to fail, you will end up a failure. That's the truth. If you are too afraid to fail, you will end up a failure. But if you allow yourself to fail, you realize that failing is just an interesting part of the journey. And you will not don't allow people to judge you by your failures. Because if people judge by failures, I can't be here talking to you, because they would have sentenced me to life imprisonment, because I failed a lot. Like, I literally failed to the point that my parents almost gave up whenever it comes to business and some other stuff. In fact, they gave up when it comes to relationship. Yeah, they gave up on when it came to relationship. I failed. How can I break up a 2 years and 6 months relationship? Come on, who does that? I'm talking about a relationship where everybody in our family already knows and we're already planning and working towards settling down. And it failed. All right. So, but another relationship, and then we have used another 2 years in the relationship, planning to get married next year. Right. So people would look at you and they will be like, guy, you are a lost cause. That's why you need to shock them, you need to surprise them. You need to come out and let them know that even though I failed yesterday, does not mean I am failed. I only tried what did not work. And now I'm going to try again. I'll keep trying again. So if you try something and it does not work, don't get so attached to it. Move on. Get up and move on. You will definitely fail. That's the truth. I'm not saying any. We celebrate those guys up there. We celebrate Dangote, we celebrate Otella, we celebrate those guys. But you know how many times they fail? Those guys feel like there's no tomorrow. So be ready to fail. Allow yourself to fail. Give yourself the permission to fail. Right? And be vulnerable. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. Don't form hard guy or hard girl. And you are trying to protect. What are you protecting? Come on, allow yourself to fail. This is the best time to fail. By the time you are in your mid-30s, you should have failed a lot. That's it. If you don't fail a lot before you enter your mid-30s, you will start failing by the time you are 30 something, and you keep failing until you are old. But if you allow yourself to fail before you are mid-30s, you might have failed all the failure you failed your entire life before you are mid-30s. If you don't allow, I am currently approaching my early 30s now. Let's just leave it at that. And I have failed so much that right now, I can't see what I want to do now that we fail. Like, I can't see what I will do now that we fail. All right. So I think I've said enough on that. Can we still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I'm done. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me
Yeah, I said
now?
I'm done.
Okay, all right, awesome. You know, I said something that I said something. I said when we first started the Nysc Boardroom, it failed. It flopped. It flopped. The Nysc Boardroom that you are currently attending the virtual conference today, our first attempt, we failed. And then I said, I'm not giving up. And that was what he said the other time, you know. Don't give up. Don't give up. And I love another that he said to fail in mid-30s. That one was very funny, but then I find it good. Very, very good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow. The best way to handle failure is to allow yourself to fail. That is still going to stay with me. That is still going to stay with me. You know, just embrace it. Stay in it. Don't if another one you said something. You said if you are afraid to fail, you will actually fail. See, guys, this is the way Clement used to drop all these bars. He used to drop it on my laps. This way he used to drop it. You know, I remember there was a time we were having a conversation and he said and we were talking about how we were talking about readers becoming leaders. Do you remember that conversation, Clement?
Yeah, I
Do you
think so.
remember that conversation? And we're talking about readers and leaders.
Yeah.
And you said something so thought-provoking to me that day. And I want to say it. I want to read it out to people. So that you like when he said it, I had to take a moment, I had to take a step back and said, "What did you just say, sir?" He said, "We say readers are leaders. That's not true." He said, "Readers are potential leaders." I'm going to be dropping the link to that video. It's on my YouTube channel for you to go and watch it. He said readers are potential leaders. And when I tried to explain it, that it is actually the people who read and apply the things they read that become leaders. Because everybody gets the Bible, but not everybody actually reads. So the action, what actions are you taking? And I'm going to, as we are coming to a close for today's session, before Clement comes to tell us his final words, I'm just going to put it out there that, everything you've heard today, I want to tell you for free that all these things you heard today are things that Clement, like, is a living proof of everything he talked about. He has he's currently even building another community next year, January. By the grace of God, it's my intention to be part of that. He's building a community come next year, January. And he wants to hold I think it's a young millionaire retreat or something, and he's doing it. I said it in the beginning, talk about failure. He has track record. Talk about this community that he was talking to you about. He has track record. Talk about creating an offer. He recently created an offer. He recently did a teaching on his WhatsApp status last weekend, right? Clement, that teaching, I wrote something. I traveled to Lagos over the weekend, and I was in the traffic, so I was reading the things you thought about, and then one thing you said in that teaching, you talked about a lot of things, and one thing I wrote down that I am still thinking about: exactly do I have to offer? You're talking about November sales and all those beauty things, and you said that, okay, and that thing just stood out for me. You said, what exactly do you do? Sales, do this, I want to do this. Be clear on what you want to offer, and you even made mention of it today in our session, and it has been ringing in my head. I've been asking myself that in the end, what exactly do we want to offer? We want to offer transformation. Writing, like, it's been putting me on my toes. I've been saying we want to offer transformation, we want to offer guidance, we want to offer identity discovery, we want to offer mindset re-engineering. Like, just that one question where you ask, I never finished the whole teaching, but that one question where you ask like this, it don't dey dabaru my head. I just say, what exactly? Because the way you wrote it, you gave it to us, you wrote it that don't say I want to kiniko. You said what exactly? Be exact about what you want to offer. Now I'm asking you two guys in this session today, what is that one action that you're going to be taking? What is that one thing that you are going to be taking out of this? And then I got a lot of people asking in the group that what kind of business can a copper start? Can you recommend businesses that a copper has? And Clement already talked about it during this session when he said, what is your why for starting that thing that you want to start? He talked about your why. He said it is very, very important. Your reason is very, very important. So in case you're like, but he did not mention it. No, he said, what is the reason behind what you want to do? And then he talked about something very, very important again. He said, before you think ideas, think skills. And that is one issue with a lot of coppers out there. Coppers, they get ideas. If you ask them, they get ideas more. But ask them, what skills do you have? I talked about the fact that when we started the Nysc Boardroom, one important skill that I used was the skill of storytelling and writing. I love to write, and I love storytelling a lot. And that skill right now is what has turned to an organization. And I want you all to, go back and pay. Like, if you need to listen to this video again, please do listen to it. See, you remember when we started, I told you, I said, when it comes to somebody living truly what they teach, you get time. Even I myself, I still learn. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I just told you about one. I still learn from him. If I I'm still going to sit down with him to think of ideas. So please and please and if you will love to connect with Clement, and by the grace of God, one person is going to be sponsored to a coaching and a mentorship session with Clement at the end of this session. And the person that will be enjoying this is very clear to me, is you, Ojo Emmanuel. And I'm going to be connecting you. Like me, I'm going to be recommending and connecting and everything. I'm going to connect you with you. I promise you that I'm going to connect you with him. And please, if you are listening to the replay, feel free to drop in the group what stood out for you, what was important to you. So Clement, I want to give you the room now to just, say some few words. Is there anything that out just in some few minutes time, just share your final words with us?
Okay, I think I'll just say something very brief before, because my phone is about to die, and I don't know. I think you should just get out there and get to work. I think that's just the most important. Don't settle for you have an idea. Just go out there and work. Get out there and work. Like, just get started. Time is going. You are already saving now. Time is going. Time is for anybody. Don't follow the modus operandi. Don't follow the status quo of you have to finish NYSC and start looking for a job. When I was leaving NYSC, I was not even looking for any job. I didn't even look for any. I've never been a fan of looking for a job. So just get to work. There's so much space up there for you. And I don't know why you want to keep struggling right down there. Just get to work. You don't have the wings. Climb the tree. You cannot climb the tree. I don't know. Find a way to get up there. Find a way to get up there. Just get to work. I love when I see people working. I love when I see people working. I don't care whether it is making sense. Just work. Just try something. Just do something. And please don't get to a stage where you feel like there's no need to learn. That's one syndrome with Nigerians. The moment you start making 50K per month, 100K per month, now feel like there's no point learning again. That's not true. That's not true. I still learn. I still learn a lot from my mentor. I have mentors. I still learn from them. I still learn. I don't care about every month. I still learn. Right. So get to work and never stop learning. Right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Oluwakem, for this privilege. Thank you for listening to me. And I'm always available to connect with people who are ready to connect with me. Thank you very much. And if I may, and just to say this, if I'm permitted, for those who joined this Nysc Boardroom conference, if interested, I'm ready to give them a 50% discount for
Please go ahead.
My community for December. All right. So if they are interested, that's if I'm allowed. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much for that 50% discount. Hey, okay, we love this. Okay, so this 50% discount, right? I'm going to put this out there. It's going to be made available to somebody that watched the replay. So if you are currently listening to this and you are watching the replay and you would love to benefit from this, all you need to do is, send me a review of what you learned from this session, and then we'll see how we can get you into that access. Thank you so God bless you. I I don't even know where to start from. I don't even know where to stop. I don't even know, but you know that it's a privilege and an honor to do purpose with you. Thank you so much for saying yes. You were one of the few people that when I said I wanted to do this, you were like, this is my mail. Just this is my picture. You're one of the people that you support me, you cheer me on, and I'm super excited. I'm grateful, and I'm happy to be doing this with you. Thank you for saying yes. Thank you for coming to share with you. This evening, I still called him and he said he was sleeping, and I was like, About stop it. You have to show up. And thank you so much for saying yes to this. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for all those bars you were dropping. Oh deep, oh deep, oh deep. And I was telling you sincerely, I learned a whole lot. Yes, even I myself, I learned a whole lot. I was writing things down. I was paying attention. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So that's it. That's it for today. That's it for today. We are so grateful. We are so grateful. We're so excited. Thank you so much, guys. Guys, I want you to do me a favor. Come on the group. Drop the things you learned on the group. Drop the things you learned on the group. Drop it on the group. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for staying to the end. Thank you so much. I want to celebrate Emmanuel from Bayelsa. Like, oh my God, Emmanuel from Bayelsa, thank you so much for interacting with our guests. Thank you so much for dropping comments. Our first, we have a gift. I told you guys that we'll be having 3 different gifts. I said the first gift goes to the person, our first participant, and the second gift goes to the person, to the most active participants, right? So, and then you see our Mr. Clement gave 50% discount. I want to see who is going to get in on that. I really want to see who is going to get in on that 50% discount. I can tell you for free, that community is somewhere you want to be. It's somewhere you want to be. All right, so and with that, we've come to the end of today's session. I want to say thank you so much. Tomorrow, next week, Saturday, or let me just put it out there, is this week Saturday, right? This week Saturday, we're going to be having our second guest, and that is the 12th of November. We're going to be having our second guest. And our second guest is going to be talking to us about something very, very important. How can you find God during your NYC? How can you find God during your NYC? I found God during my NYC, and I believe that a lot of people out there really, really need to know how to find God during the NYC. In case you are like, does God even love me? Is God even listening to me? Is what? Just come this Saturday, and we'll talk about it. Wow, guys, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for tuning in. We were able to use 1 hour 27 minutes, or let's say 1 hour 30 minutes. Thank you so much. And just in case you are there, please, if there's a friend that should listen to this, if there is a friend that should join the community, please share the link with the friend, talk to the friend, connect me with the friend. Don't worry. Now we even drag the friend to the community. So please come with your friends. And I'm so excited. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And please drop your reviews, your feedbacks on the group. Let us pepper people that did not join. Let us pepper them. Let's pepper them. Let's pepper them. Thank you so much. It's like come your way next Saturday, which is our next session, November 12th, 2022. Thank you so much. God bless you. Bye-bye.